Hey guys! Welcome back to Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 1. Last time we learned about Lieutenant Virgil, who seems to be a very strange individual. Now, they haven't really explained one thing. They mentioned that he might be a DME addict, but they haven't explained what that is. Let's see here. Let's find... Oh, we don't have it yet. That's why. I was like, where is it? No, we haven't gotten that email yet. We should get that email very shortly. Alright. Let's talk to a couple of these people. So we're talking about fighting these Gnosis. We don't know much about them. Anyway, I'll write this. I hate this. This is dumb. We can't get by here because somebody dropped a bunch of stuff. Or can we? There's an email. Okay, I guess we can walk right by, but we don't want to. Anyway, this is what I was hoping for. The database. This is, basically the database. There's lots of stuff there if you are interested. And of course, the bunny's got something to say about it, of course. Yeah, we can go and use the database, which is what I was about to do at the start of the episode, because that's where I believe there's a line about what a DME addict is. The other thing it does is it holds battle data about different Gnosis enemies that we fought. And the Gnosis enemies we fought so far are those alien-looking things in the simulator, but assuming that there's a whole section for it, there's probably going to be more. Anyway, there's a possibility that I will have to fight them in the future. Probably. It's the start of the game. Probably. Of course that's going to be the case. This is an RPG. If we didn't fight the same enemy more than once, we'd be pretty crazy. Anyway, yeah, it automatically downloads, but sometimes the items will not automatically download for you, so just so you know. Anyway, so we got that. We can go back and talk to this dude. And this dude's hitting on us. Hello, Mr. Holgar. Call me Mr. Driller. No. No, I will not. This guy is an idiot. And basically the idea here is it's a little mini game and he's obsessed with it. Yeah, she doesn't want to call him Mr. Driller either. I have to go now. I need an adult. Not this one. Anyway. So yeah, basically all this stuff fell down because somebody was kind of stupid and they dropped a bunch of shit, and so now we have to get them all out of the way. Yes, we'll do it. Yeah, no doubt. Teach you how to operate. Yeah, basically the idea here is hurry up, go through the damn dialogue. Once we get into the minigame, I can show you better than it will explain. Basically, you hold down the square button and let go of it where you want the drill to fall, and if you want to read this, you can. Basically, press the R2 button to get the better camera angle. Alright, shut up already. Shut up. There's a lot of minigames in this game, strangely enough. For the second game, they cut down on the minigames, added more puzzles in the dungeons, and added more side quests. There are some minigames within those, but most of them are just stupid, boring little side quests. In fact, it reminds me of the second game in another series for that, but anyway. Anyway, let's move on this. We get an item for this. Hit the R2 button, and it'll change your camera angle. This one I find is the most effective. This one, definitely not. This one, not particularly. You get no depth. This is the only one that gives you kind of both. Do note that your camera is back a little, so you don't want to drop directly on top of these things, but you may want to be a little on the lower side for the most part. especially on the ones toward the south of the screen. So what you do is you hold down square and then let go when it slid across as much as you want it to. So there we go. And then basically press and hold it again and let it fall down. Now, if you do this all without missing, you'll get Medkit S. If you do it and miss at least once, you'll get just a normal Medkit. I have very little interest in this game, and I suck at it, so I'll probably screw it up. I think I screwed that up. Oh, no, I got it. But yeah, even though it looks like you may not want to, you may want to go a little bit further than you would otherwise think you would. Alright. Oh, did I miss? I think I did. I did miss. On an easy one, too. Oh, well. There we go. It doesn't really matter. The items are kind of pointless at this stage. We don't need them. Anyway, the important thing about doing this is you get the drill passport, allowing you to do the minigame later, which I can't remember if I do or not. We'll see. If there's useful items from doing it, then I'll do it. If not, then I won't. What do you guys have to say? Anything interesting? Understand its behavior. Okay. Yeah, there was an accident there. Anyway, do note on the ground there it says D-02, and now we're in D-03, meaning that we now have access to another email in this area. I just can't remember exactly where it is off the top of my head. Anyway, this is the first time they mentioned that we're on, or the name of the ship, it's the Woglinde. They'll mention it again later, or maybe they already did, I can't remember. But yeah, there's doors around here. Most of them contain rooms that have very little of interest in here. There's a save point there if you want to use it. Oh yeah, this guy's kind of funny. As beautiful as you would appear in such a messy room, you're truly a trash and a dunghill. Stupid. Yeah, something like that. Even Homer sometimes bobs. I don't know any proverb or saying involving Homer. I'm assuming this is the guy that screwed up the proverbs to that Realian. Yeah, I guess that's the actual one, though I don't think I've ever heard that one. Yeah. Uh-huh. That poor Realian. Yeah. That one's kind of a follow-up, but that's, I think, one of the few interesting NPCs to talk to around here. I'm not talking to you. Yeah, this guy won't let anybody in his room because he lost his key, which he would tell you if you talk to him. I think the email's over here? Ah, there we go. We're going to check out the emails as they come in, mainly because there's always a reason to check them out, even if they're just kind of there for their sake. The ones that you reply to are the only really important ones. But basically, this is from Miyuki talking about building a new weapon. Basically, it allows someone to take a look at KOS-MOS's effects in battle and then report that back to this guy so he can make a good weapon for KOS-MOS. So yeah, this one basically gives Miyuki shit for doing this thing, which I guess they're not supposed to do. And so obviously we want to do the top one, agree to help her out, and yeah. So once you do that, then you'll get, that's one of the steps toward getting a good weapon for KOS-MOS late game. Do I want to talk to you? Yeah, that object that was recovered. Referring it to by the codename Zohar. Yes, for anyone who is wondering what that thing is, it is basically the Zohar. Well, they had the reference to it in Xenogears. It was this great item that worked off of the wave existence that had the never-ending power source because of that. But that's pretty much it. We don't really know what it is in this game at this point, and we will find out in due time. I think this is dead end. Yeah, so we'll go up here. Make sure you pick up that email. That one's particularly important. And I would talk to that one. Oh, it's this dude. This dude's pretty cool. Sergeant Swain. Swain. I guess it's Swain. I don't know. He doesn't look like a pig. I'm going to present you with the results of my research. Hobby of investigating doors on the ship. What a boring hobby. Anyway, what are you researching? Yes, please tell me. You do want to find out about this. The nanomachine core is still a black box. Of course, a black box is something that we don't know the insides of. You know, they have the black boxes on planes that you can't get access to without the right decoding keys and stuff like that. That's kind of what this is, though in this case, I don't think anybody knows what's in the cores of the nanomachines. They just kind of got created, and maybe the technology was lost or the understanding of it was lost, but they could still make more, however it works. Anyway, basically, I guess they create a lot of these ships with nanomachine technology. And that being the case, there are randomly created useless doors with locks that pose no real harm, and so the company that created the technology doesn't care about it at all. Yet somehow people don't notice that these doors are here or something. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, there's 17 or 18 you haven't opened. Basically, they're telling you about these segment address doors. Means that you should go find all of them and open up them all once you get the decoders, which will happen in due time as well. Basically, you need to explore. Yeah, we've already found a few doors, and we get the segment file, which is very important. He also says not to open any of his doors because he's greedy, I guess. Do I have access to it from here? Where is... Is it in here? I can't remember where it is. We have a segment file. Is it in the UMN? Nah. Oh, well. It's somewhere. We can look at it later. Basically, it shows us what the doors are, what items we got from them. Anyway, let's go back to this point. So this is where we came in. That's DO4. And there's nothing over on that side. We could go up there, but let's head over to the right first. I just want to give you a kind of a general idea of what's going on in the area so that you know when we get back to that point. Now, this is an email for another Namco title, considering Namco made or at least published Xenosaga, for Ninja Assault. Now, there's a bunch of these in the game. The bunny has something to say about this. This must be the interesting email someone mentioned. Yeah, the guy that we gave our email address to, he sent us spam mail. Even in the game, there's spam. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you love video games? Everybody loves video games. That's why we're all playing them. Anyway, enough of the ads. Let's move. What do you have to say? Yeah, there's another lady somewhere off. I'm not sure if I talked to her or not. That she's waiting by another board. That and they said they'd meet in front of the board. And there's multiple boards. There's a map of the ship and stuff like that. Anyway, nothing particularly interesting there. So let's go this way. I was thinking we'd get to the bridge in this episode, but I guess not. The bridge is up there if you want to go, but there's a bunch of stuff we would like to do first. Those buttons close this door. We'll need to know that for later. I'm not going to show it off. This is closed for now. That'll be opened later. We'll learn that later. At some point, there's going to be an email under here. Not through here, but under there. If you talk to this dude over here, he talks about the Seraphim sisters. Apparently, they sing well, but they don't dress slutty enough for him, or they don't dance enough. Anyway, if you press this switch, it turns off his holo projection, and he gets mad about it. I'm going to talk to him here. Yeah, you talk to the lady up above there, and she'll explain that it's annoying that he's always watching this show instead of anything else. But the idea is it's supposed to make noise. Just remember that for later. There's a lot of things to remember for later. In here... if we go in here, there's a couple of people in here. Not doing anything. I mean, I'm working, of course. And what about you? Don't believe this. Why would you go out of your way just to come into this room instead of just passing by? I wonder. Go talk to this guy. Things were finally getting hot and heavy, but you had to butt in, didn't you? So yeah, this guy is spying on those two making out in the room. Which is kind of creepy. Only a little. Anyway, we got another segment address door there. And DO5. So let's go through the doorway here. And just note that you can go up that ladder and you can talk to him. That button there will decompress the area and blow it out. Again, we'll need to know that for later. And did I miss? Let's go talk to these two idiots. Yeah, a few people refer to her as Miss Vector in the game. It's a decent little nickname considering she's, you know, chief of first division and she's, you know, super bright and all that. Anyway, this is a game of tag. This is mainly to show you how to manipulate enemies when they appear on screen. You need to get behind those two, and in order to do that, you need to loop around the thing in front of us, which it's basically what you do. It's kind of obvious, but just make sure that you start running right away, otherwise they'll catch up to you because they're slightly faster than you. Oh, crap. Oh, well. I think I'm still good. Yeah, there we go. You can do this up to 3 times and get, I think you get medkit S's for this. Okay, just medkits. Either way, doesn't matter. Not particularly interesting. It's just a little tutorial. This is where we came into this area, and that's where Numbnuts is with his door over there in his segment file. But yeah, so that shows off that section over there. And so the only area left to explore is over to the left here. And that's probably good timing because, oh, there's a treasure chest up there. Bunch of people put a whole bunch of stuff here, and we can't seem to get it out of the way, which means we can't get the treasure chest. Gonna have to figure out a way of getting that later. Alright, so over here, it's an eggs capsule. Basically, the mechs go in Dragon Ball Z Capsule Corp capsules in this game, and so you can deploy it whenever you want. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, and they don't do that in the other game or in the subsequent games, as far as I know. Can I talk to you, please? Thank you. Anyway, this is the guy that does the mail. Yeah. It's like a transporter mail system. And over here, I think it's this one. Yeah, he can sell some items, so we can buy some stuff from him. I would buy an escape pack. Okay, no, an escape pack. To press a circle button on the items in order to sell them. Different from Xenogears. Just, no. 2 will work. And I want to buy another revive as well. Biosphere is like a tent in this game. All HP and EP recovered at save points. Escape pack, escape from battle. Ether pack, obvious. Medkit, obvious. Revive, obvious. Make sure that even if you're buying stuff, to keep at least 500, I guess it's G in this game. I don't think they mentioned what the currency is, but make sure you have 500 G, you know, at the end here, because you're going to need it. That's one thing about, oh yeah, this guy talks about the vaporizer plugin. Yeah. And so, yeah, just destroys things via the connection gear, which is the thing that bunny's in, that runs the database and all that other stuff. But anyway, they're announcing a working model, so they're going to send us prototypes. If you're interested, come back later. Nice. But I lost track of what I was talking about. Anyway, yeah, make sure you have 500 G for the email. A lot of time you'll invest money via email, and that's how you get a lot of things. Anyway, let's check out the database here real quick, because I wanted to mention, yeah, so there's the Gnosis. It shows you the enemies. We don't have analysis info because we haven't cast a spell, I think it's called analysis, or whatever it's called, on the enemy, and then we'll have like strengths and weaknesses and stuff too. Keywords. As you can tell, there are a lot of keywords in this game. DME addiction. Let's show off this. Addiction, which results from the consumption of Realian body tissue. blood vessels, blah, blah, blah. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff here. Basically, the idea here is physical and mental states are then altered, but occasionally this results in death when an allergic reaction occurs, which is why Virgil has that scar on his face. Anyway, the addict must continue to consume the new Realian tissues to avoid withdrawal symptoms, thus necessitating a drug-dependent intervention. No complete cure at this point. In some corners of the Galaxy Federation, the reaches of their control, there is an active black market for Realian tissue. I think this is specific to like brain tissue, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Yeah, it's so yeah. There's a lot of things we can look up in here. A lot of the stuff that came from before. Short for a special theory of rudimentary. It's basically magic. It's a generic term to denote various types of special powers. It's everything from paranormal abilities to medical treatments using nanomachines, as well as the ability to control spatial dimensions using transference. And I'm going to have to block that out. I'm going to have to remember that because they mention other characters we don't have yet. I hate when they do that. They mention names of characters we don't have yet and all that stuff. Anyway, so yeah, this was the lake where they found the Zohar years and years, 4,000 years ago or whatever it was. And they show a bunch of this other stuff if you're interested. Can we see? No. I was hoping they'd have a picture of Miyuki because we don't see him very often. And this was, I mentioned before, with Penfield, was, yeah, they basically break the fourth wall in some of these. So as you can see, it's a reference to, you know, the in-game reference is to blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it was, you know, it has an out-of-game reference as well. And there's a whole bunch of things. Let's check out the Realian one real quick. It's an artificial human. Wonder of molecular bioengineering. It's a biological composition, comes in various forms based on need, from carbon-based duplicates of real humans to those based on silicone or liquid metal. Many Realians on board the Woglinde are made by Vector, and they are hybrid models with carbon-silicone base. Since the Militian conflict, which they kinda talked about, but not really, the alteration of Realians' emotions is no longer allowed. The only exceptions are for Realians in the military or other dangerous occupations such as terraforming. Their basic rights equal those of humans and are recognized by law. However, due to the fact that their minds are initialized with a slight bias, all Realians tend to display similar personality traits. This bias is applied not only to the purpose of preventing criminal behavior by Realians, but also in consideration of humans who may feel threatened by their superiority, albeit only in certain specialized skills. Several companies manufacture, and blah blah blah. The program is essentially a black box, and any modification beyond regular maintenance and adjustments can only be performed by Vector. As you can see, Vector has a great deal of power in this universe, and that gives us a better idea of what Realians are. There's more stuff here. I'm not going to go over all of them. There's another Let's Player who's already done that, gone into this, and shown every single one of these off at different points in the game, and that's just crazy. But yeah, a little bit on here. I'm just going to show off some of the more important ones as time goes on, as it makes sense to do so. Now, here is what I'm going to be doing in between episodes. So we can go in the egg simulator here. Alright, I'm sure you already know this, but this is an eggs battle simulator, so please be sure to use the eggs during combat. Once in a while we get people fight barehanded, but that defeats the purpose of the simulator. Basically, he's telling you that you should fight barehanded.
Here we go.
And the reason for that is because when you fight barehanded, you get special points. If you fight in an eggs, you do not. So at this point, we can actually grind up Little Miss Vector. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the weaker attack on the boost thing so I can get a boost level for her. Because I want to be able to boost to get the special ones. He does a decent amount of damage at this point in the game, so I'm just going to hit him with that real quick, and then I'm going to end my turn. And so I'm going to boost here, which gets me to this point. And because I've boosted my character, it doesn't remove her normal turn. So what should happen is I should be able to guard here, and then I should have the next turn, so I should be able to go like this and end him on that turn. Now, because there's only 2 of us and we're about the same speed, that's the only way to get on the special coin marker if you're not there by default. So either she'll be on the empty one and the boost one, or the critical one and the skill one. Anyway, doing this, we can get a lot of points for her. As you can see, we get a lot of points. We don't get any ether points, but that's not a huge deal at this point. We also don't get any money for it, and the battles go by relatively quickly. Now, I'm going to actually do a bit of level grinding, more so for tech points and skill points than anything else, but I'm going to do this off screen. You also get med cadets, doesn't really matter. But basically you can do this over and over again, and I'm going to work on this for a little bit off screen, and when we come back we'll have gained a few levels and basically got her all set up. The reason for this is because when we get into the next set of battles, there'll be 2 characters, Xion and one other, and the other one is just so much further ahead, especially against those enemies, that Xion becomes kind of useless, and she kind of drags down the battle. All that she can do is heal and do a little bit of damage. So if I do this, I'll be able to get her up to a decent level so that she can actually fight in those battles as well. And it's just helpful to do so. So I'm going to do that off screen, and yeah, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.